101.7 KSAM and the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. It's time for the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Huntsville coach Rodney Southern. Live from True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Tonight, Coach Southern talks about last week's game and what to expect from this week's opponent. Now, let's go live to the coach and your host, Rob Hipp.
All right, Huntsville, Texas. How's it going, guys? Man, it's besides, can y'all hear me okay tonight, everybody? Back there, can you guys hear me, Cam? Y'all hear me back there? All right, man. Well, welcome to another edition of the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Week number 4 live from our good friends here inside of HEB at True Texas Barbecue. Let's give it up for True Texas also. Thank you guys for hosting us tonight. And I'm going to tell you, this is my favorite night of the week besides game night. So it's always a lot of fun. Glad to have this show here every Wednesday at 6:30. Make sure to get some good barbecue. And for those of you out there listening on the radio on 101.7 KSAM, come on out in person. We're going to be here for about an hour tonight, and we'd love to have you. Well, last week, our Hornets, boy, put a stamp on Kingwood on the road, 21-0. Let's give it up. Shutout. Great job last week, and that was on a Thursday night. It's a second straight win to start the season, both of those versus 6A opponents. 2 quick touchdowns with the offense in the first 5 minutes. The defense, 13 tackles for loss. They held Kingwood to only 82 yards the entire game, 3 turnovers. One of those a defensive touchdown. We'll talk to that young man here in a minute. But joined now by Brian Adams, my analyst. Brian, an exciting game. We had a little bit of kind of a dilemma setting up early, but then we finally got moved to the right spot. But it was a lot of fun, and we had a good time, man.
We did have a great time. You know, Friday night football, but in this case, it was Thursday night football. Absolutely wonderful. The weather was a little kind of iffy. It was raining a little bit. The field was wet, but the Hornets came out strong against another 6A opponent. Another win, notched in the win column. Great victory. I'm looking forward to talking to these young men tonight. We got a great crowd, and seeing what happens.
Yeah, have a fun crowd here tonight. Well, we're going to step aside. We'll take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk to head coach Rodney Southern. This is the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. We'll be right back in just a few moments. Stay with us.
True Texas Barbecue, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly. True Texas Barbecue presents the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Rob Hipp and head coach Rodney Southern live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early as seating will be limited. Sting 'em Hornets.
It's Truck Month here at Wiesner in Huntsville. Hi, folks. Clint Mack here with Wiesner in Huntsville, and it's Truck Month. That means you get the best deals of the year on your favorite Chevy truck, Tahoe, and Suburban. We've got 3/4 tons, 1 tons, and half tons. When they say they don't have it, come to Wiesner of Huntsville, and we'll get it. We've got trucks starting at $28,986 and an Equinox for only $16,990. So for the best selection, you need to hurry to Wiesner in Huntsville or shop us online at WiesnerHuntsville.com. Chevy, find new roads.
All right, back here at True Texas Barbecue with head coach Rodney Southern. Let's give it up for Coach. Appreciate you as always being here tonight, Coach. Well, we talked earlier, tough Kingwood team on the road, 21-0 there in that defeat. The second straight win to start the season, Coach. Both of them versus 6A opponents. I just wanted to start right out of the gates, Coach, as we talk here. How important is playing these 6A teams before conference play? How has that been this season?
Well, I think it's important, obviously, you know, from 2 perspectives. Number one, depth-wise, they're usually going to have more guys than we do, and Kingwood was obviously that way. Our opponent this Friday night is going to be that way. They've got almost as many seniors as we're going to dress varsity players. So, but it's also a point of, you know, when we looked at scheduling after realignment, there weren't a lot of 5As in the area that either schedules didn't match or didn't want to play us or whatever reason. So, you know, we had to get a schedule together, and we had to get some opponents that, number one, we felt like would test us a little bit. The Willis game's obviously a rivalry-type game. Kingwood was a late addition because we lost College Station in a realignment issue. So it's good to play good people. It's good to play schools that you know are in the process of either building or they're an established program. Kingwood, was a change in coaches and change in philosophy, and they're still adapting to what they want to do offensively and defensively. But again, just having a schedule where you can play good people that are well coached, I think it just helps you get ready for our district, which has obviously got some really good people in it as well.
Hey, Coach, starting out the ball game, you had 2 quick scoring strikes, and then it kind of slowed down a little bit. Kind of walk us through that first half against Kingwood.
Well, the big thing is I try to be very honest with our kids. When we line up on Saturday morning to run, when we finish running, I tell them, look, this team you're playing this week is X, Y, or Z. And I felt like from top to bottom we were better than Kingwood. Obviously, from an experience standpoint, we knew we were better. What they were trying to do offensively and defensively, we felt like we could handle. Now, we jumped out early, kind of like we did a week before against Willis. And then I don't want to say we lost our edge, but, we didn't convert some things. We were not very good on third down. We made some mistakes in some situations, but at the same time, you look back and you hold a team to 80-something total yards and you have 3 turnovers. We're +8 right now, turnover margin. So there's a lot of good that comes out of a game, even if you felt like at a position or positions you didn't play as well as you could have. There's a learning experience. But I was a little disappointed, and I think the kids were too, that we didn't score more than we did. But at the same time, you win a game 21-0 against a 6A team, it's kind of hard to say that was a bad outing, but I think if you ask these guys could they have played much better, the answer would be yes.
Well, Coach, you had talked a little bit about just, we get so wrapped up in everything and what we're doing and the motions of the game and quite frankly the motions of the life that sometimes we forget to, in a way, maybe celebrate those victories. You talked about just a little bit of that, and this year really taking some time to celebrate these wins. Can you explain a little bit more about that, Coach?
Well, I think, because of our situation, when we play at home, we still have to get on a bus. Like Friday night, we'll still have to get on a bus and drive to Bauer Stadium and drive home. You lose that opportunity of coming into your dressing room when you finish a game that you have done well. When we're on the road, obviously you're trying to, we got to eat, we got to get dressed, we got to get on the road. It was a Thursday night. You want to get home because you've got school on Friday. But the thing that I have tried to focus on with not only us but obviously our kids is learn how when you win a game, because it's hard to win at any level. The amount of preparation that goes into a week, and you can ask these kids, especially this week where you had an extra day, we had an extra Saturday to work, and you got to look back sometimes because you only get, right now we've only got 9 of these guaranteed. So you got to enjoy when you win a game, and sometimes I get caught up as the head coach too. As soon as it's over, I'm thinking about the next one, thinking about what we're going to do on Saturday morning, and I don't sleep real good Friday nights normally because of that. But I think they understand it, but I've got to do a better job of enjoying when we win football games.
We're talking to head coach Rodney Southern here on the Hornet Nation Coaches Show. Coach, another question for me, the defense. You scathed on that a little bit here, and I had a question about it. Not allowing Kingwood to score, sealing that shutout. 3 forced turnovers, another great game, winning that turnover battle, of course, including a defensive touchdown by Q Riles, who's here tonight. Fumble recovery there and running that one back for the touchdown. Coach, how impressed have you been with your defense through these first 2 games?
Well, when you look at what we're trying to accomplish defensively, I think Coach Schroeder and our defensive staff have done an incredible job of preparing our guys. I think if you ask them right now, they can tell you what they've got to do to stop C.E. King. Now, you still got to go out and execute. You got to do those things at a high level. Probably the biggest thing for us defensively, and hopefully this will carry out through the entire year, is the fact that we can pressure a quarterback with 4 guys. And if you can do that at any level, it's true in NFL, it's true in college, but at the high school level, a quarterback normally is going to have 1 read, maybe 2, and then he's either going to throw the ball away or he's going to run. And I think we can take away the number 1 read just with pressure. I mean, if you've watched the last 2 games, there's very seldom a time where a quarterback can take a snap either in the shotgun and take a 3-step drop and throw the ball on time. And if we can continue to do that, that allows us to do some things in the secondary. But I think it's the fact that these guys are well coached. They understand each week what we've got to try to do to stop a team. And, of course, the last 2 weeks they've executed at a very high level.
Coach, one of the things, and I told Rob this during the ball game, and it was in the fourth quarter, and Kingwood was threatening to drive and score a touchdown late in the game. At that point, the Hornets had them shut out, and you could almost tell to a man out there the pride took over, and they were going to do whatever they had to do to keep them from scoring any points, and they did that. Talk about that just for a minute.
Well, I think you want to, and if they'll be honest, some of these kids will tell you there's donuts for a shutout. So you got to do what you got to do sometime. But we do some things obviously from a motivational standpoint that they don't want to give up a 0 when you've got that. They also, I think the thing that this program has developed over the years, especially within the kids, is a level of pride and understanding what you're trying to accomplish, and at the same time, you don't want to give up a shutout. That's hard to do these days in football, and somebody's got to step up and make a big play, and I'm sure some of those D linemen probably were thinking about donuts too at the same time. So, but we do what we got to do, and I think again they've learned how to execute in crisis and tough situations, and obviously that wasn't as tough of a situation, but you want to preserve a shutout too.
Coach, when the game was over and you brought your team together, what'd you talk about?
Well, number one, and this is where I've got to continue to do a better job, I told them enjoy the win, because they've got family there, and with all the COVID stuff, it's hard for sometimes you don't get to see your family other than across a fence or something like that. I said, go enjoy this with your family, but I also told them the next one is going to be much tougher than this one. Even though it's a home game, it's still going to be a tough one.
Awesome. Well, Coach, appreciate your time here in this first segment. We're going to step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll look ahead to this week's matchup. Let's give it up one more time here for Coach Rodney Southern. We will step aside and take a break. We are live here with the Hornet Nation Coaches Show from True Texas Barbecue. We'll be right back here in just a few moments.
Hey y'all, Blake Shelton here.
And Kelly Clarkson. We're so excited the voice is back, y'all.
With John Legend and the return of Gwen Stefani.
I even souped up our chairs for the blind audition.
No kidding? Let's try mine. This thing even spinning?
Oh, no, totally. It's spinning.
Because it seems like you made it really slow so I can't win.
What? That's hilarious. I gotta go.
Don't miss the all-new season of The Voice, featuring the return of Gwen Stefani, October 19th on NBC.
Carlton, get back here and unsuit my chair.
This is Mattress Jack at Adams Furniture. Listen, you've been looking for sofas and love seats. Furniture in the stores today are hard to find. We're waiting on furniture, but listen, we've got trucks in, and the stuff on my floor, it's in stock, ready for immediate delivery. You come in, you see it, you buy it, you get it to your house. That's simple. We're getting inventory in the store. We've gotten several trucks in, so there's no more waiting on your sofas, your tables, your mattresses, your bedroom suites. Come in and see us, folks. It's right now going on. Hey, don't forget about our beds in there. We have great economy beds, great beds, queens for $199. How about a twin for $99? Come in and see us, folks. We have a huge bedding department. Remember, the furniture is in stock, ready for immediate delivery. That's at Adams Furniture. You won't be disappointed. All kinds of financing going on. Remember, that's Adams Furniture at 75 North and 10th Street, or shop online at shop@adams.com.
All right, welcome back live from True Texas Barbecue. How's everybody doing tonight? Man, I'm seeing some barbecue. I may have to step aside for a minute and get a bite to eat here in just a minute. Everything's looking good. Thank everybody for being here tonight. Rob Hipp alongside Brian Adams. As we look ahead to this week, we're with head coach Rodney Southern. Coach facing C.E. King, the Panthers, here in Huntsville, 7:30 p.m. Back at Bowers. Going to have our first home game officially this season. C.E. King, though, a tough contest. They're 3-0. It's another 6A team who has outscored their opponents this season 124-51 through 3 victories. Coach, your mindset heading into this one, this is going to be the toughest opponent yet.
Well, it is, and we told them Saturday morning, what to expect. And obviously, when you see it on film, it doesn't take you long to figure out. They've done a really good job. I actually went to college with their head coach, and that's kind of the connection for us to play these guys. But they are in a position as a 6A. They're in probably the toughest district in the state. So we know it's going to be a challenge, but we also think that with our kids preparing the way they prepared, that we ought to be in good shape.
Coach, what's Huntsville going to have to do early to establish themselves in this ballgame?
Well, the biggest thing is when we're on defense, you can't give up the big play. These guys, from a rushing standpoint, they're about 65-70% run. But when they do throw it, it's off some kind of play action, and you got to be really careful there. But they are a lot of inside zone, just kind of grind on you for a while, and then you get out of a gap, and all of a sudden he goes 70 yards for a touchdown. So control that, don't give up the big play. And then offensively, we had 6 3-and-outs the other night offensively in the second half, and we can't have that. We've got to be able to establish some kind of drive and get points. And we've even talked about if it's not a point, if we end in a kick, even if we punt the football and make them drive the field. But tackling's going to be critical with these guys, putting pressure on their quarterback. But we've got to do some things offensively to generate some first downs and get in the end zone. The more points you score, the better off you are against these guys. They have played kind of at the level of their competition till the fourth quarter, and they just outman them in the fourth quarter, and they've made big plays in the fourth quarter. But we're going to have to do a good job, be sound in all 3 phases for us to have the opportunity in the fourth quarter to win the game.
Coach, as I ask you every week with the opposing team, just some of the positions that we should keep an eye on for this week coming up.
Well, they've got 6 guys that are potential Division I guys. They've got a 6'7", 280-pound offensive lineman that will play a couple positions, but he'll be at tackle most of the time. They're running backs. They've played 2 different guys there, and they both look very similar. It's really unique. If you look at their jersey numbers from 1 to 12, they all look about the same, whether they're receivers, corners, running backs. Number 2 is probably the fastest guy on their football team. But they are, when you look at them, they're going to dress 75, 80 guys. They've got 31 seniors. They look very similar to Lufkin, probably in a comparison, but I don't know if they have a guy that is just sticks out. They're just solid as a football team offensively. They're solid defensively. I think their quarterback does a lot of little things that probably don't show up in stats, but keeps them going, and he's dangerous enough with his legs. But again, there's athletes in a lot of different places. Their kicker's been very consistent all year long. So they're just a solid 6A football team with good numbers.
Coach, what are your keys to victory?
Protect the football. Like I said, we're +8 in the turnover ratio.
Let me stop you real quick. For those people who don't know, when you talk about positive turnover ratio, because they teach that or should teach that at every level, through elementary up to college and the pros, explain that, what that means and how important that is.
Well, that's we have a deal called the Plan to Win, and we've got 6 or 7 things on there that we feel like are very important. And the first thing on it is win the turnover battle. What we look at, basically in 2 games, we have gotten 9 turnovers. We've given up 1. So we're actually +8 in the ratio, or how we look at the ratio. Some people look at the minus end of it, but we want to be plus a whole lot in the turnover ratio by the end of the season. But game to game, we know that's going to change. There will be a game where we may not win that battle, but the more you are +1, +2, +3 statistically, the more you are, the higher your chance of winning games, because you're taking possessions away from your opponent. So we've got to protect the ball. We've got to be sound in the kicking game, and we've got to move the football offensively. And I don't know that we're going to outscore them, but I think if we're sound on the defensive side, and we move the football offensively, and we can win the ball game.
Coach, final question. I also like to ask you every week as well, just kind of the overall health of the team right now through these first 2 games, and then how were practices this week so far?
Well, we're back to a, quote, normal week, to be able to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to work. A lot of times it's difficult when you're on a short week because you've got to combine 2 days. Now today we had SAT and PSAT tests this morning, so we didn't get to do our normal weight workout this morning, but I thought our practice this afternoon was pretty good. We've got bumps and bruises like anybody's going to have early in the season, but I think overall, from a health standpoint, the good thing with us, we've learned how to practice with JV guys and varsity guys. So, injuries, if they happen on a Friday night, they happen because that's part of the game. But we're not going to see a lot of injuries in practice because we've learned how to stay up and practice on your feet. But overall, I think we're in good shape for technically week 4. But going into our 3rd ball game, I think we're probably where we need to be. I think they could all be a little bit more healthy, but, that's part of it.
Yes, sir. Well, those defensive shutouts, we got to be careful because there may be a lot of donuts, and that may get into some of that health stuff,
Maybe
Coach.
you slow some of those guys down a little bit.
Well, but if we got to do donuts for a shutout, I'll do as many donuts as we need.
Well, hopefully we'll have donuts every week. Well, Coach, again, appreciate your time. Let's give it up one more time. Head Coach Rodney Southern, appreciate you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, we'll step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll talk to some of our student athletes. Stay with us, friends. This is the Hornet Nation Coaches Show live from True Texas Barbecue. We'll be back in just a few moments.
True Texas Barbecue, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly. True Texas Barbecue presents the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Rob Hipp and head coach Rodney Southern live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early as seating will be limited. Sting 'em Hornets.
Bullets, Blades, and Concealment in Huntsville are pleased to announce that they carry Butcher BBG Wild Seasoning. They've got everything from timber furniture cabin chili mix to ingredients and instructions to make summer sausage and bratwurst from your wild game. Go on by and get a sample today. Bullets, Blades, and Concealment. They're located in the Timber Hill Shopping Center right next to Harbor Freight at 111 Interstate South in Huntsville. Go on by and see them now at the shop or call 936-439-6727. Bullets, Blades, and Concealment.
All right. Welcome back. How's everybody doing tonight? One of the really cool comments that I heard last week was there was people in the grocery store shopping. They didn't know all this hollering was happening, and now they know. So this is going to be the new Wednesday thing. So appreciate everybody being here tonight. We are now joined by our offensive impact player, the senior quarterback. Not senior, junior quarterback, Mr. A.J. Wilson. Let's give it up for A.J. Well, A.J., it's starting to get used to this in a way. It's your first coach, so we've interviewed you a couple of times. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great.
Well, it's good to have you tonight.
Thank you.
So we're talking to A.J. here. Let's just jump right into it. Quarterback, you're a junior. You played a couple of games last year, but now, of course, starting varsity, junior. Talk about your role on the team, man.
My role is very important. I have to be the leader to my young guys and stuff. This has been great. I got a lot of experience in my last year starting games last year, and it's doing great. And
so that's kind of helped carry over into the season so far.
Yes, sir.
Talk a little bit briefly just about some of the things you learned from those guys last year, AJ.
Matthew Southern, I learned how to be a great leader and to trust your receivers.
Well, AJ, it's you're a junior starter. But you did play 2 full games as the start of your sophomore year.
Yes, sir.
And you were pivotal in launching the Hornets into the playoffs that year.
Yes, sir.
As a junior, as the leader of the team, because you are the leader of the team.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about that. Tell me what your preparations are. What do you do? What are your goals and things like that?
My goals is to go to state. My young goal line, they getting better every day, and yeah.
Well, last week, 242 total yards, 21 yards scramble on your feet. That's great numbers, man. We'll give you a little shout on that. But I know, your offensive line and those guys are helping. Talk a little bit about those guys, and then I got one more part of that question. But your offensive line, how critical have they been this season for you?
They've been very critical. They've been doing their jobs, but we have every little time we have a mental bust somewhere. And I believe they can get it. We'll be better. They get better and better every day at practice, work hard and stuff every day at practice.
I'm going to ask you, it's a tough question, man. What's the hardest part of you being a quarterback?
Hardest part,
I thought I was going to throw a tough one at you.
Being the leader to the offense and like.
It is, though.
It's
being the leader for that's a tough position, but you're stepping into that role nicely, AJ. So good job so far this season, man.
Yes, sir.
AJ, what was going through your mind? You guys jumped out on Kingwood early, got 2 quick touchdowns, and then it kind of just slowed down. I know the weather conditions weren't ideal. The ball was probably wet and things like that. But after you got those 2 quick touchdowns, what was going through your mind as the leader, as the quarterback of the Hornets after that?
What's going through my mind, how can I put this? That we should keep going, keep scoring every drive, get good possessions, keep going, good drives, keep scoring every time we every time we touch the ball.
Move the chains?
Yes, sir.
Very important.
Well, going forward, just from you, from a personal level on the team, where do you feel that you can improve on?
Improve on
some things that maybe you work on in practice that you're really trying to focus on to help you get better.
Practice. I work on reading the defense, studying what the other teams, our defenders' defense are, and look for the easy routes to throw, and keep the chains moving.
Well, we look ahead Friday at home at Bowers. It's going to be fun, man. You're ready to be in front of the hometown crowd, man.
Yes, sir.
So we're facing a very tough CE King. I want to ask you, what are you excited about? What are you looking forward to the most in this game?
I'm looking forward. This is going to be a great game and playing in front of our hometown.
AJ, who are some growing up a Hornet? I know means everything, because you're never an ex-Hornet. You're a Hornet for life, no matter how old you get or whatever. Tell me a little bit about what you expect when you step on that field with CE King Friday night.
I expect a good team. We're gonna have our ups and downs. They're gonna stop us on a couple of plays, but I think we should be able to score.
I always like to ask this, man. Everyone has influences in their life. Who are some role models that you look up to, man?
My oldest brother, Ken Albert.
Let's give it up for Ken. He's here tonight. 2012, right there, man. Good to see you, my friend. So has he taught you football?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, man. So if we notice anything, we go back to Kent and talk to Kent, right?
Nah.
Oh, see, he's taking. That's it. That's part of being a leader, man. So that's awesome, man.
Sorry, Kent.
I like to ask this question also, AJ. Just all of you guys on the team, outstanding young men. It's been fun. It's my first season covering the Hornets. I want to ask you, what does it mean to be a Huntsville Hornet? What does that mean to you?
It means a whole lot to me. I'm proud to be a Hornet and play. Oh my gosh. That's all I got.
That's all right, man. Proud to be a Hornet, man. That's great.
That's the main thing, right?
Yeah.
And winning ball games.
Yes, sir.
AJ, what are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do
my
outside
hobbies,
of football?
Outside of football, basketball. I play video games on my free time, watch film on my free time and stuff.
Now, you mentioned, I believe, Texas State a while ago, some of your future plans. I may have misheard you. Where do you want to be in the future? What are you looking forward to, man?
I'm looking forward to go to a big school and play quarterback and make it to the NFL.
Awesome, man. Hey, let's give it up for that, man. I like that ambition, young man. Well, hey, the camera's right there on you. This week, it went up to 6 million people. Last week, it was 3 million. 6 million people right there. Give a look in that camera. Who do you want to give a shout-out to tonight? A little love from Huntsville, Texas, man.
My teammates. Love y'all guys.
All right. That's the way to do it.
Good answer.
Well, let's give it up one more time. Junior quarterback, Mr. A.J. Wilson, good to have you here tonight. All right, friends, we'll step aside and take a break. We've got more interviews when we come back. This is the Hornet Nation Coaches Show live from True Texas Barbecue. We'll be right back.
True Texas Barbecue, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly. True Texas Barbecue presents the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Rob Hipp and head coach Rodney Southern live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early as seating will be limited. Sting 'em Hornets.
Cavender's Fall Roundup sale is going on now, and you can save on your favorite styles from Ariat. Men's fall shirts are 10% off, and Ariat jeans are $10 off. 15 to $20 on our great selection of Ariat Western boots. Plus, save $15 on Ariat work boots. You can always trust Cavender's for authentic Western style at great prices. So hurry in now and save during the Fall Roundup sale at Cavender's. You're listening to the Hornet Nation Broadcast Network. KSAM Huntsville is 101.6 KSAM.
All right, welcome back, friends, live from True Texas Barbecue and HEB. How's everybody doing tonight? Some good barbecue in the house. Melton's back there. He's clapping. Appreciate Melton being here. I want to give a shout-out tonight, too, to Miss Caitlin. She is helping us. She's doing a lot of our technical stuff. Thank you, Caitlin, for being here. Miss Trout. We are talking now to our defensive impact player, senior safety, Jadarian White. What's up, Jadarian? Let's give Jadarian a little clap, man. Well, Jadarian, good to have you here, man. I was, we were going through. Coach was telling us who was going to be here tonight, and we were talking. And I said, this is going to be a great time to talk to you, Jadarian. I always like to lead with the question, just your role on the team. You're a senior. Talk a little bit about your role on the team.
Not much. It's just go out there, stop the pass, and help on the run. Make sure nobody get behind me. And most of the time, I don't really got to worry about that because my D-line and linebackers and corners, they lock down, and I just be chilling.
Hey, that's all right. Well, what has changed? Yeah, there you go. That's it, man. Well, what has changed, now as a senior? What have you noticed that's changed now from being a junior to a senior, and have you felt more of a leadership role being in that senior position now, Jadarian?
Oh, yes, sometimes, Most of the time I just, it's first year on varsity, just coming back. So really I just be listening to AJ and Justin. And just follow the directions. Don't try to get out of line. Ain't trying to mess up the chemistry. And just fit in.
That's great, man.
Hey, Jadarian, strong safety. That position is known as basically a hitter position. But you also return punts.
Yes, sir.
How did you land that role?
I don't even know. Tell you the truth.
Say, Coach, put me there.
I don't know. I always told Coach to let me run the ball. And next thing you know, I came back to practice, and he was like, you gonna catch him. At first, I was having a tough time, because it was catching the ball, man. It's scary sometimes,
Can't take your eye off of it, can you?
Oh God, that's what I'm telling you.
We're talking to Jadarian White here. Through 2 games, 11 total tackles. Your defense had the shutout last week. I just asked you a little bit, just the chemistry on the team, but from your perspective, the difference that you've seen so far, with the defense this year versus what you may have seen last year.
Oh, yeah. Last year they had a real good defense, but this year we understand each other as a team, and we all like brothers on and off the field. And, we got really the best, fastest, strongest D-line, and we got big linebackers. Corners, they lock down, and first, 6'3" safety. So we got a cold little defense. We just undersized a little bit, but we got it.
Hey, well, undersized and you're shutting them out. That don't matter, man. You guys are taking care of business for sure, man.
Hey, Jadarian, going forward, what do you think you need to improve on?
Oh, speed and getting out more and coming down and hitting and stop playing too deep, because that can really hurt a team, because I'd be 15 yards deep sometimes, and 10 yards is all you need to keep the chains moving, and I'd be messing up.
Tank. Tell us about that. Where'd the nickname come from, man? They call you Tank.
Oh, yes, sir. Growing up playing football, I was never fast, but I was always strong. So I always, run over people. And so then I just kept moving, like a tank, destroy everything in its path. Oh, God.
So that's why you're a strong safety.
Yeah, there you go. Bring it on, man.
Oh, God.
You know, the opposing teams, they probably go back and watch these coaches' shows. Y'all better watch out because you're going to have a tank on the field coming up this Friday night here at Bowers.
Jadarian, facing CE King on Friday, what are you looking forward to? I know a victory, obviously, but what else are you looking forward to?
Hopefully get my first interception and get a forced fumble and just holding a number 5 and playing a good offense, playing a good team, and just playing in front of the home crowd.
These 6A teams, what has that been like? Because you're facing another one here. Do you look at that as like, hey, we're going up against a 6A team, or you just look at it, this is just another team that we got to go out there and beat?
Oh, yeah, everybody the same to me. We all human. And so they just got more people. That's the reason why they 6A don't mean they more talented than us.
That's right. All right, man. Some of your role models, in your life, who have you looked up to, man?
Oh, my cousin said, my brother Jay, and my uncle Milton back there. So I looked up to all of them growing up and listened to them.
And should I, Melton helps us. So should I give him a hard time during the broadcast? What should I do about Melton back there, man?
Nah, he cool. He cool dude. I love him. Yeah.
Hey, well, he does a great job. We appreciate all he does.
Jadarian, we ask all you players at some point in time during this interview, what does it mean for you to be a Hornet?
It means a lot. I love going to school down here. I love being around them because every day is funny, It's always fun being around the team. The coaches are nice. Coach Southern, he always been there helping me, always trying to guide me down the right path. And Coach Stroder, he like a father. He always, he believe in me. So I'm going to give it everything I got to help the team.
That's great, man. Outside of football hobbies, what do you like to do outside of football? Tank?
I'm straight work out, play basketball. That's it.
Awesome, man.
And girls, too.
Oh, there's the first one. All right.
Girls, too, okay.
Let it be known.
There it is. Jadarian, what are your future plans?
Just go Division I off 1 year and then go to the pros for football or basketball. I'm just trying to make it out.
Awesome, man. Well, we've enjoyed it, Tank. Camera's right there on you, young man.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you want to send some shout-out to tonight? A little love tonight from Huntsville.
Shout out to my granny and my sister and everybody else, you feel me? Take on
All right, man. Hey, love it. Listen, all right. Well, Mr. Jadarian White, Tank in the house tonight. Appreciate you, young man. One more round of applause. Appreciate him being here tonight. Well, folks, we're having fun. We've got one more interview tonight with the student athlete. Make sure to stay with us. The Hornet Nation Coaches Show continues here in just a few moments.
True Texas Barbecue, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly. True Texas Barbecue presents the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Rob Hipp and head coach Rodney Southern live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early as seating will be limited. Sting 'em Hornets.
This is Kevin with Beckham & Jones Heating and Air Conditioning. It never fails. Hottest week of the year and the AC goes out and you don't have any money available to have it replaced. Well, call Beckham & Jones at 936-295-9173 and I will come out, give you a free quote to replace that old AC with a new carrier system and help you apply for financing so you can get that new AC with affordable monthly payments. Free quotes, financing, and affordable monthly payments. Now that's Beckham & Jones.
License number 079C.
All right, back from True Texas Barbecue. We got 3 tonight, friends. A lot of times we do 2, but we said it was so good last week we had to have a 3rd interview. Let's welcome our defensive second impact player of the game, defensive lineman, Mr. Jadarian Riles. Q Riles in the house.
Q.
All right. Well, Q, I always lead with the same question. See, that you wanted to go first. It's actually better if you're last because now you've heard everything.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Your leader. You got a radio voice too, man. You may have a. Say that. Say something real quick. Say like, "Welcome, everyone."
Welcome, everyone.
You like that? There we go. All right, man. I love that, man. Well, first question I always ask: your role on the team. Talk a little bit about it, Q.
Obviously, I'm a 3-year returner, so My role is very important. I'm a leader, and I like it. And the football team look up to me, so I try my best to lead them.
Hey, Q, heck of a game last week. You had 2 fumble recoveries for the season. You had one last week that was in the end zone for a touchdown. Walk us through that.
And you ran that one back for a touchdown, right?
Yes, sir. One of the best linebackers, Calvin, he forced the fumble, so I picked up the ball and scored. I think it was about a 30-yard touchdown, but, I did what I had to do.
What goes through your mind during that process? Because it happened so fast, but kind of walk us through what was happening, man.
My adrenaline was up. I was excited, and I was just, to be honest, I was ready to get back on the field. I was ready for some more.
Awesome, man. Well, you mentioned this a little bit earlier. It just that leadership role. As a senior, how do you lead your teammates, man?
I go full speed at practice and make sure I try to do everything right. I know you're gonna have some mistakes. You're gonna have some mistakes sometimes, but you just got to doing them. You got to do the mistakes at 100%. So I just make sure I try to do everything correct and go from there.
Q, what's some of the factors or the biggest factor in the success of your defense? Because people are starting to kind of talk about this defense, not just locally. I mean, we're starting to hear buzz statewide that this is possibly one of the best defenses in the state of Texas.
It is. I think we are the
hey, there you go. Yeah.
In the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And I mean, we dominate. I love these guys up front. I love the whole football team, but the front six on the defense is something special, and we look forward to keep dominating every game.
We're talking to to Q Riles here.
Q
yes, Riles. So Q, of course, Quatarian, facing CE King on Friday. What are you looking forward to, man? Another tough team. It's going to be a tough contest. What are you looking forward to about this one, Q?
I mean, dominating the person that's in front of me on both ends of the ball, offense and defense. I mean, we got to maintain our gaps because this team, they don't like to drop back a lot and pass. They're like a running team, so we got to maintain our gaps and play sound football.
So going forward, you personally, what do you need to do to improve Q's play?
I need to do everything in my power to improve Q play. I need to practice harder. I need to work out harder, eat healthier, and everything.
There's a saying that it's a very old saying. It says you're going to play like you practice. Tell us how the practices are going this week.
I mean, our practices are going real good. Our O-line is getting better every day, and that's a good thing. We're making them better. They're making us better, and so we're going to make each other better. And, I mean, everybody's catching balls. I ain't see that many balls been dropped at practice, so that's a good thing.
So the intensity level during practice is way up there.
Yes, sir. It's up. Sometimes they say stay up, but, excited. So sometimes it might go down, but it's all right. It's just going to make them tougher.
Well, the first home game finally, we had kind of the public practice. I know that we really wanted to have that first game of the season, didn't get to have it, but now playing at home, what's that energy like here at home versus being on the road, and how excited are you about that?
I'm very excited. I mean, we got the best fans in the world, so, that crowd going to have us going, and we're going to make sure not to upset them. So.
Q, who, we've asked your other two teammates, who are some of your role models you've looked up to growing up?
I looked up to my father, my brother, and I look up to a defensive player on the LA Rams, Aaron Donald. He's a real good player, and he plays DN and D tackle, and I could play all those positions. So I look up to him. I think I'm kind of similar to him. So that's why.
We talk about, being a Huntsville Hornet, and Brian, of course, has been here a long time. This is my first year here. To you, what does it mean to put on that jersey and to wear that H, man, and to be a Huntsville Hornet?
Everything, because some people don't get to do that. And our coaching staff is like we got a good coaching staff, so I look up to being able to play on the football team like this, because every team don't have coaches like we have. So I look up to it.
I wanted to tell you something, man, because I want folks to hear this. And this talks about the character of these kids. And I hear it all the time, and I'm always going to talk these young men up. But he just said something that really stands out that some people may gloss over. Q said, not everybody has the opportunity to play this game. And that is a sign of where you come from and your coaching staff and your parents. And I think that's something to be commended. That just shows humbleness, man. And you guys all are on that page.
Yes, sir.
Q, what are your future plans?
My future, I'm going to college, focusing on college.
Playing ball?
Playing ball. Living life.
Good.
All right. Hey, well, the camera's right here on you. Who do you want to send a shout-out to? A little love tonight from Huntsville, Texas, man.
I want to give a shout-out to all my teammates, Big Ed, Brian, Seabass. I want to say hey to my mama, my sister. I know all of them watching me, so my brother, everybody that's here. So shout-out to all y'all.
All right. Hey, and I'm going to be calling you here in a few years, man. We're going to need some voiceover work. We're going to get you to help us, all right, man? So let's give it up. Q Riles in the house tonight. Appreciate you, young man.
Good job, Q.
Well, let's step aside and take a break. When we come back, we'll finish up our final segment. This is Huntsville Sports Weekly. We are live tonight. We'll be right back.
True Texas Barbecue, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly. True Texas Barbecue presents the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Rob Hipp and head coach Rodney Southern live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early as seating will be limited. Sting 'em Hornets.
In today's world, your business needs a website that will work as hard as you. It's more important than ever that your website creates an instant impression, forms a platform that appeals to your customers, allows you to easily interact, convert leads, and generate sales. Pixel Fleet is a local company that will help you build your dream website. Pixel Fleet enjoys exclusive cutting-edge webflow technology to custom build your web solution from the ground up from scratch. That's PIXELFLEEK.com. Pixel Fleet for your best online presence.
All right. Welcome back. True Texas Barbecue. How's everybody doing tonight? Final segment. Appreciate everybody being here. It's always fun doing this every week. And there's a certain place that's kind of all over the state of Texas, and they've got this ice that everybody's real happy about. They sell hamburgers. But I'm going to tell you, man, I'm enjoying it. I had a little glass of water, and the ice here at True Texas Barbecue is better than that burger place. So come on down here, get some barbecue, and you may be vegetarian. You may be, I don't want to eat no meat. Well, guess what? They got the best ice right here in Huntsville, so come on with it, man. All right, well, let's give it up. Brian Carroll here, Vice President Booster Club. Thanks for being with us, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, Brian, I talked last week, and I've really enjoyed. I want to tell you how much I've enjoyed being here through these first few weeks. Talked to Brandy last week. You guys do such a phenomenal job with the Booster Club. Always want to give you an opportunity just to talk about how folks can get involved. But, Brian, this is a really special team. Just like last year, we got a lot of great kids back this year. But what is, from the Booster Club perspective and a vice president, what has this year been like so far for you, having to go through this whole COVID pandemic and those kind of things, Brian?
Well, this year it's been a little bit different. As far as some of the things that we want to do, like last year we started having tailgates at the game and stuff, to where we would provide free sausage on a stick and stuff. People come out, we'd have big tent, just have everyone out before a couple of games last year, get everybody pumped up before the game started. We haven't been able to do that. We operate the concession stands at the junior high and varsity and freshman games. This year our sales are a little bit down because last year it seemed like the kids from the other teams, they could all run up to the concession stands in between games and buy stuff. So our sales are a little bit down, but hey, we're still having a good year and stuff, and we're still going to support the Hornets whatever way we can. So
And you brought up something that it's not just the varsity team. You guys are there. You're supporting and helping out the underclassmen as well with the concessions and all that. And I know attending the booster meetings, there's always a need to have people get involved. So how can folks connect? What can they do? How can they be a part of the Booster Club?
Sure. The Booster Club meets on Monday nights at 6 o'clock in the field house at Huntsville High School there. We meet in the meeting room there. So the public is invited. You don't even have to be a member to come. If you're a Hornet fan, hey, you're welcome to come out. Coach will come in and speak to us at the end of the night, usually when he has opportunity. We are on Facebook at Huntsville Hornets football. So, you can look us up on Facebook. Our email address, and golly, I hope I get this right, is Huntsville QB Club. I think that's correct. So I'm sorry,
that's all right.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember. So, but hey, just main thing is we're at the concession stands on Tuesdays and Thursday nights through sub-varsity season from 5:30 or 5 o'clock on Thursdays, 5 o'clock on 5:30s on Tuesdays and 5 on Thursdays.
Cool.
Hey, Brian, we want to thank you because I know doing the quarterback club and the booster club takes a lot of time and takes a lot of effort, but it's certainly for an amazing cause, supporting the Hornets, whatever, the football team, all the sports and things like that. It's not an easy job, and I want anybody who can volunteer to help, to join, anything they can to support this. It would be terrific. It is a wonderful organization, great people. Brian, I see you got some apparel.
Yes, sir.
Sitting over here beside me. What do we got going on here?
Well, I raided my closet before I come out this evening, so what we have here is I brought some merchandise that we have available for sale. Now, this is last year's playoff shirt. I have a lot of playoff shirts left from last year, and also I have some hoodies available from last year. Now, the hoodies are in bigger sizes, and when I say bigger, I think most of them are 2X and above. But, hey, that's great for layering. That way you can put a hoodie over your other clothes and stay warm. So we have these available, and I have these shirts available in most vault sizes right here. Next, we have the Huntsville football long sleeve black shirts. Now, these are like the shirts that you'll see the coaches wearing out on the fields and at practices right here. Now, these are cotton shirts. These are available. I have them in most sizes, and they're $20. Oh, the T-shirts are $5, and the hoodies are $10. Sorry about that.
One of those shirts one time, it wasn't a Huntsville, it was similar, though, for another school. I had on tan khakis, and they thought I was a coach. They just let me on it, didn't even ask any questions. Don't do that, by the way. You need to pay for tickets, okay?
I get accused of being a coach all the time wearing stuff like that. So
I do, too.
Either that or I get accused of being a police officer. I don't know. Maybe it's the hair. I don't know. Here we have one of our Hornet T-shirts here.
That's pretty cool, man.
These are available also. These are real nice shirts. Got them at a great price for $10. You can't get that shirt like that anywhere in town for $10.
And keep in mind, there's people listening on the radio, so they can't see this right now.
Sorry.
No,
That's a gray T-shirt.
Yeah, we're talking
Huntsville Hornets.
Awesome graphics, great T-shirt, and we're painting the picture for the radio audience too.
Okay, here we have a Under Armour polo dry fit shirt. I do not have very many of these left in stock, so if you want one of these, you better show up tomorrow because they'll probably be gone.
You got XL on those?
I have one XL.
Oh, put me down for that. I'll bring you $20. Is that what are those 20?
These are a little bit more.
Man, I'm trying to get a deal, man.
Nice try, Rob.
These run $40.
All right,
so,
you take credit card?
Okay, yeah, we'll hook you up there.
Save that one for me.
So, but anyways, first off, we appreciate the support from y'all. It's been great being able to come out, be able to get more word out to the community as far as, hey, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing. We have several projects that we would like to get accomplished this year. So one thing that I was talking to Coach about recently was we have 2 trailers that they take to the cargo trailers that they carry our equipment to at the games and stuff. We are looking for maybe some sponsors to help put some graphics on these trailers. So if anyone is interested in that, contact us. We're willing to go in some money and stuff. But hey, if you want to get your name on something down the road that's going down the road, and have a free, have some free advertising, give us a call. We can work something out.
So look them up on Facebook, Huntsville Hornet Football, and you can find all the information.
Hey, one more thing. Throw me my cap over here. I forgot my cap.
Oh, he's got some caps too, man. All right.
All right. Hey, sorry. Real fast. This is a Nike coach's cap. This is what you'll see the coaches wearing out there. These are $20. They're unisex. They make great Christmas presents, because if you have one and your son who's in high school and the football team doesn't have one, then he will steal it from you. So, hey, make sure you get you 2 or 3 of these. They make great Christmas presents.
I don't know if you should be telling people these are what the coaches wear, because I'm telling you, people are going to start. It's all right. Well, Brian, appreciate you being here. I did have one last question I wanted to ask you. Programs, those will be on sale if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That is correct. We will be selling, the Booster Club will be selling programs this year. Hey, and we're going to have a special for you out there, the same as always. Coach Southern is going to sign one of the programs. Now, we're
awesome.
not going to have as many programs this year due to the attendance that we're going to be able to have at the games. I think there's a max of 150 programs, if I'm not mistaken. So, all right, so somebody's going to be at the entrance at the scoreboard, and then we'll be at the middle points at the hills going up on both sides. Programs are $3, and you buy a program, you will have a chance to win $100.
That's awesome. Cool, man. And I did, look, as we've been talking this whole time, I cannot believe that I skipped this. Senior night. So do not forget about the seniors. It is senior night. Talk a little bit about that briefly.
Okay, it is senior night. What they'll do is if you have a senior or loved one that's on the team, you sure want to be out this week. Before the game, they'll have pictures for all of the senior players, the trainers, film crew, and personnel that's a senior there. They'll have their parents escort them out on the field and get a picture with them, and then during the halftime, they'll do the same with the band and introduce all of them. So it's to recognize the people that's been here for the Huntsville community and schools.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, thanks for being here. Let's give it up one more time. Brian Carroll, appreciate you, my man.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you, Brian.
Well, friends, this will conclude this week number 4. Technically, it's week number 3 if we really skip over the first game that was supposed to happen, but technically week number 4. Appreciate everybody being out here, and we want to give one more round of applause for True Texas Barbecue at HEB. They didn't have to do this, and they said we want to be a part of the community, and so we appreciate Vicky and all of the fine staff here at HEB. For Caitlin Trout, who's joining us tonight for the first time, Mr. Brian Adams, Coach Rodney Southern, Garrick Long back at K-Sam Studios. Also want to give a thank you to Steve Ricks and also our GM, Dave Donahue. I'm Rob Hipp, reminding you tonight that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We need each other, friends. Provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there tonight needs you. And as we end it, on the count of 3, a Sting 'em Hornets, and we're going to sign off after that. 1, 2, 3. Sting 'em Hornets! We'll see you, friends. Have a great one.
True Texas Barbecue, smoked with Texas oak wood for up to 14 hours. Barbecue by the plate or pound, plus delicious sides like brisket, beans, creamed corn, potato salad, and coleslaw. Hungry? Stop by True Texas Barbecue inside HEB. Voted best barbecue chain in Texas the past 2 years by Texas Monthly. True Texas Barbecue presents the Hornet Nation Coaches Show with Rob Hipp and head coach Rodney Southern live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Come early as seating will be limited. Sting 'em Hornets.
In today's world, your business needs a website that will work for you. It's more important than ever that your website creates an instant impression, forms a platform that appeals to your customers, allows you to easily interact, convert leads, and generate sales. Pixel Fleek is a local company that will help you build your dream website. Pixel Fleek enjoys exclusive cutting-edge webflow technology to custom build your web solution from the ground up from scratch. That's PIXELFLEEK.com. Pixel Fleek for your best online presence.
KSAM Huntsville, broadcasting live from the Wiesner Huntsville studios. We are your hometown radio station, playing today's best country and all your favorites. 101.